I can clearly remember this. It was 2015 and I saw this pink Real Madrid shirt and this black Paris Saint-Germain shirt with pink name set, and I immediately knew I had to start a football shirt collection. It's been about 7 years since I started my football shirt collection, and it's probably one of the best things I've done in my life. But what would I do if I had to start a football shirt collection all over from scratch? In this video, I'm going to share 7 aspects you want to take into account when starting a football shirt collection. Whether you're a football shirt collector or someone who wants to start his or her own collection, this video is going to be for you. Number 1, decide what your goal is. This may sound really strange and vague, but it's true. This is really important. What kind of shirts do you even want to collect? Do you want to collect match-worn shirts, match-prepared shirts, or do you just want to collect fans version shirts you can just buy in fan stores? Or maybe you prefer vintage shirts from the 90s. Maybe you prefer modern shirts. Or maybe you only want to collect shirts of your favorite team. Or maybe you're a big Kun Agüero fan and you want to collect his football shirts. I don't know what your goal is when it comes to collecting football shirts, but there's no good or bad goal when it comes to this hobby. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a kind of weird collector because I don't really have a favorite team. I do have some favorite players and teams I like, but I don't support any team actually. So once you know your goal, it's gonna be way easier for you to determine what kind of shirts you want to buy. Let's say you're a big fan of Mesut Özil. In that case, I would just try to get as many of his shirts as possible, like Schalke, Arsenal, Real Madrid, Fenerbahce, Germany, and so on and so forth. But maybe like Valencia. In that case, I would just try to focus on getting many shirts as possible, both vintage and modern shirts. This way, you're gonna build a very solid collection with some nice variety in there. That kind of brings me to point number 2, which is quality over quantity. This might sound really cliche, but it's not. Believe me, every time I buy like a more expensive shirt, the satisfaction I get from it is way bigger than when I find a cheap shirt. Because personally, I prefer shirts with name sets and patches, like complete shirts. I'm not a big fan of collecting blank football shirts, but hey, that's just my opinion. So this Juventus shirt is a perfect example of a shirt I would love to buy because it's got all the patches on there as well as a name and number on the back. And those kind of shirts are usually a bit more expensive, but in my opinion, they're definitely worth your money. I think I got more than 150 shirts at this moment. To be honest, I don't really care about the quantity of shirts I have. My goal is not to collect as many shirts as possible, but I want to have as many nice shirts as possible. The shirts that really satisfy me. And you know, talking about satisfaction, that kind of gets me to point number 3, which is have fun. It sounds really logical, but you don't have to overlook this. The more fun you have while collecting football shirts, the easier it's going to be to build a solid collection. What I mean by having fun is that you gotta appreciate what you've already got. So don't compare yourself to a football shirt collector that's got like 500 match-worn shirts by Messi. I know that sounds kind of unrealistic, but still. But just try to appreciate your collection the way it is right now and try to build on from there. You know, they say time's flying when you're having fun, and that's definitely the case because I can't believe 7 years have passed from 2015 when I started collecting football shirts. So it's true. Something that's gonna contribute to you having fun while collecting football shirts actually brings me to point number 4, which is connecting with other football shirt collectors. I think this is very underrated because one of the biggest reasons I started making videos and content on Instagram, TikTok, and so on and so forth was actually to connect with other people that were collecting football shirts just like me, because I don't really know many people in real life that collect football shirts like me. Like some of my friends got some random football shirts and they'll just appreciate them, but for me it was just a passion. So I wanted to find people to share this passion with, and that has given me so many more ideas. I've also made many friends by collecting football shirts, so it's something very positive. By collecting with other football shirt collectors, you'll be able to swap shirts, make friends, and exchange ideas. And of course, you can always help each other, which means that you will learn together. Number 5 has to do with the purpose of your collection. Are you gonna buy shirts because you just want to collect them and keep them in your wardrobe? Or are you actually gonna wear them yourself? This is gonna be really important because, to be honest, I barely wear my football shirts. I only wear like 5% of them, and the other 95% is just for my collection. This means that I don't mind spending money on football shirts, but I make sure that I don't wear them because I don't want to damage them. I actually remember one of my first shirts I bought when collecting football shirts was this Dortmund. Oops.
Oh, come on.
And I've been wearing it intensively. As you can see, like, the name set is completely gone. You know, when I was younger, I didn't really care about my football shirts getting damaged. But I've learned so much from then on. So nowadays, I only wear like a few football shirts that are not really part of my collection anymore. But a shirt like the Italy one just behind me is a shirt I would never wear because I don't want to damage it. This is, in my opinion, something you really have to keep in mind because you don't want to spend a lot of money on one specific shirt in order to wear it because it looks cool. Yeah, that's the purpose of buying shirts. They look cool. Every time you're gonna wear your football shirt, you'll have to wash it. Sponsors and name sets will fade away. You really have to watch out. But yeah, that's up to you. Number 6 I wanted to talk about. Follow your taste and be original. I've always had a weak spot for football shirts that were disliked by the majority of the football shirt community. And people might tell you, you've got a bad taste, or like, man, what are you on about? But by following your own taste, you'll make sure your collection is unique. You know, a football shirt collection kind of tells a lot about you as a person, which is really cool, by the way. For example, I kind of like Dortmund, so I got quite some Dortmund shirts in my wardrobe and my collection, and I got a very weak spot for purple and pink shirts. I don't know why. So don't be afraid to like a football shirt that's disliked by the majority of people. Just go for it. This is another example, the Real Madrid 15-16 away shirt. Many people think that this looks like a pajama, but I really love it. It's amazing with these green stripes. Just remember, if everyone was to buy the same football shirts, all the collections would be the same and would be so boring. And last but not least, number 7, follow your budget. This is probably common sense, but you might be too enthusiastic and you might want to spend more than you actually can afford. Just don't spend too much if you can't afford it. I remember that when I was 16 or 17, that's the period when I started collecting football shirts, I worked at a local supermarket. So I didn't have much money by that time. I would just buy one very nice shirt every month. By doing that, I had a goal to aim for, and it made collecting football shirts something very nice for me, something I would look forward to. Excitement! And as I got older, I started making more money, which permitted me to buy more football shirts, of course. Those are all the 7 points I wanted to cover in this video. I hope this is gonna help you when starting your own football shirt collection. And remember, great things take a lot of time. Just enjoy the process of getting there. More videos on their way, so see you next time.